Hey there, Nick Conforti, Director of Integrations at Boostr, and today I want to show you how we've been able to implement a secure and scalable framework for token management across our customer base and instances of Boostr using Tray. Today I'm going to walk you through an incredibly simple but powerful automation using Tray's API management tool. Today our use case is how to generate or rotate an authorization token across a number of different instances for a platform. So in my main workflow here, my main project, I have basically my main workflow that will be called from the endpoint we set up, which you can actually see the entry trigger right here. And then I have a helper workflow or callable workflow that will actually obtain a token if we decide that we actually need to do that. Underneath all of this is sort of the main workhorse, which is our API management tool. So in here, we basically have our base URL and then our operation that we set up. You can set up different operations based off of what you need, and this endpoint can be called with different paths. So here, we have this pointed to our main workflow that I just showed you, and then we have our method set up here and our path for get token here. So let's go ahead and look at the actual workflow that I showed you a second ago. So in this main workflow here, what we have is an entry point, again, like I said, which will provide us the parameters we've established, which is going to be a username, a password, a company ID, and an environment variable. We use the environment variable here so we can actually map and say, is this sandbox, and give that domain, is this staging, and give that domain, and so on and so forth. And here we have a data block that actually acts as a way to check and later on store, once we've generated a token, if we have that in existence or not. And we use that to evaluate, has the token expired? Basically, the parameters that we store in the data block is the same username, password, company ID, and environment variable. But we also are adding in a timestamp so we can evaluate if that has expired yet. Here's our request token workflow, as I showed before. So this is just when we have no token returned back from the data block. And over here, we actually have logic that says, we did return some data back from the data block. Did we find a match? If we found a match, we basically send it down here and do the current date minus the date that we stored against the token to see if it's still valid. And if it is, then we will trigger with a response, or if it's invalid, we'll go ahead and generate a new one, store a new timestamp, and proceed. And the same thing over here. We'll just go ahead and generate a new token. If for some reason we find that there's an issue in this main workflow, we'll just respond with an error message back to the endpoint. So here we have sort of our error handling over here, which will provide some sort of 404, the service is down, or invalid credentials, or something like this. Otherwise, you'll get a success back. So let's take a look at the underlying feature here. The other thing that's really powerful about this is that it's consistent across all the blocks once you've set this up. So number one, our URL will always be the same, just the path will change, or it will be the same if you're using this get token method. And then you'll set up your token to access this API in settings, in your admin settings. And then after that, it's just going to be the parameters that you set up. So I'll go ahead and run this now. I'm just going to have this pointed to production. And it's just going to go to one of the blocks over here and run like that. We pass in our parameters that we've decided we need to generate this token. And then we get back the token. Simple as that. What's also really powerful about this is that you can go and do the same process in any service that has an HTTP request feature. So I'm in Postman now. I'm going to run the same process where I have my endpoint and my token and my parameters to basically generate the token, and I get it back in seconds. So you can actually provide this to other customers. You can use this tool internally, but what's really great is you can call it from outside of Tray. So I think in closing, what's really powerful about this is number one, an API or webhook you can just access outside of Tray. And then on top of that, a really easy way to manage your different instances when you need to create a block to authenticate. And the third point, basically to be able to easily rotate a token without just generating the token over and over again, causing expensive processes to your infrastructure. Yeah, so that's it. Good luck building and hope you enjoyed it.